I've been seeing a lot of cool sustainable trends in our hobby, and it got me thinking, what could I do better in my operation to be more sustainable, both ecologically, but also economically? What's going on, everybody? It's Adam here at Proper Royals. Thank you for joining me here on the channel today. I'm always excited to have you. I was just looking at some stats. You know, there's more than 3,000 of you all that watch these videos each month on my channel. I'm so grateful. That's incredible. And I also happen to know that of all the people watching, only about 60% of y'all are subscribers. So I'd love to have you, if you come back often, to have you subscribe and hang out here, get all the notifications, all that good stuff. If you enjoy it, please, it helps me out. Seriously, it really does. The other thing is, with the amount of viewers that we have now, if you think that your brand would be a good fit to align with Proper Royals and you want to talk about sponsoring videos, I'd love to talk with you about that. I've done it on numerous occasions on other videos, and I'm always happy to entertain sponsorship ideas. Maybe it'll help out your brand and you'll help me support this channel. So, sustainability. What a hot point, right? It's almost the worst. It's almost like nails on a chalkboard. It feels like we're gonna get lectured, or it's not even, like, to even have clicked on this and made it this far, thank you for giving me the benefit of the doubt. I'm right there with you, I get it. Sustainability is the perfect example of that expression of perfection is the enemy of good. We're not gonna be perfect. I'm not gonna be perfect. If you think I'm gonna be hypocritical because I'm not perfect at it, or I could do better, I gotta figure it out, I don't know what to tell you. I'm one guy on one path trying to do a little bit better each and every day in a whole lot of ways in my life as a father, you know, and just in my career, in this channel. I always try and learn and grow. So continuous improvement is an idea that I love. Perfection or nothing is nonsense. Bear that in mind with the sustainability stuff. The other part of it is, I know it's a political trigger point. I have no interest in talking politics or lecturing you all. Most of what I talk about in this video, matter of fact, all of it, I'm not doing yet. So I'm not lecturing anybody. I'm telling you where I feel like I'm inspired and ready to go. And I'll talk about that today. So there you go. There's kind of my ground rules. I hope that you want to hang out. And I hope that you'll enjoy it and share some ideas with me as well. I won't take it as a lecture. I won't take it as offensive. The best thing about this channel is this community and this relationship that we've established. So I'm always up for hearing your feedback. I want to share with you what I've got going on and what my thoughts are. So outside of just being generally considerate and sort of cognizant of these challenges in our world and in my own waste, for lack of a better word, material waste. One of the things that got me thinking on this topic was the packaging that Cold Blooded Cafe now uses. I'm a real big fan of Cold Blooded Cafe. This is not a product placement for them. It's just me talking honestly. I like their frozen rodents. I think they're the cleanest. About 4 orders ago, so maybe 6 months ago, I got a package and it had this new, I got a package of rodents and it had this new packaging in it. And the insulation was all biodegradable, compostable. You could put it in water and it would dissolve. It's burnable, or did I say compostable? You can compost it as well. They have the big cardboard box, which is obviously recyclable and easily so. There's the plastic bag. You gotta still remove that insulation from the plastic bag. But man, what a great reduction in waste versus like the home insulation that some of the competitors use. So I was really inspired by that. Like, I'm sure it's an expensive proposition, and they made a decision. They drew a line in the sand and they said, you know what, we're gonna do this. I'm sure there's added cost, and I'm sure they had to pass some of that on to the consumer, and there's always a risk of losing customers when you do that. They stood by their quality. They kept quality in all that they do. They started using sustainable, biodegradable packaging that's not filling landfills while we have this hobby. How cool. One of my big frustrations is that I use grocery store plastic bags like crazy. crazy. Those things are the worst, right? All of us use just tons of these things. I mean, how many of us are really that good about bringing the cloth bags to the grocery store? I mean, I know the answer and I want to do it. I just don't. I generally, when I go grocery shopping, I go for like a week at a time, man. I can't fit all that in 2 or 3 little bags. What's a guy to do, you know? Those bags, at least here in Florida, in my neighborhood, you can't put those in your regular recycle bin and have them picked up. They don't recycle. You got to take them back to the store to be able to recycle them. On top of it all, I have this ingrained cynicism of what's actually getting recycled anyhow. How perfect, or I don't know the process. Like, what is it? If somebody just throws one wrong thing in the recycle bin, is the whole batch bad? How do they figure that out? And I don't know. I'm truly not trying to disseminate false information or this horrible political, oh, what if this? Oh, what if that? Oh, maybe this. No, I hate that. But I can't get my head around the process of it. And in my career and in my life and dealing with waste disposal companies on a commercial industrial scale in resorts and restaurants, like, somebody's got to call the trash man. Somebody's the guy that takes care of it. And I was the guy. It hurts me to say that I don't have a whole lot of faith in our recycling industry. But I'm an optimist and I want to participate and I want to do my part. I'm not going to let what everybody else does dictate me and just throw in the towel. So my bags, I use very, very little cocoa. I use less of that material, so I spend less on cocoa and I have less waste. And I realize cocoa is sustainable, but still those trees got to take a long time to grow. Kind of a, if you don't take what you need and leave the rest kind of mindset. Like, I don't need more. I use very little cocoa. I got a high humidity environment here in Florida. But what I do a lot is I clean. And this is no condemnation or judgment on anybody else. I don't spot clean. So if a snake soils the tub, boom, out goes the newspaper and out goes the cocoa, a little bit of cocoa. I clean it, I put it back. From a restaurant background, the idea of spot cleaning to me is just not sanitary enough. Clearly it's fine in our hobby. Clearly these snakes live in the wild with all sorts of bacteria around them. It's just a thing for me. So it's what I prefer. And I have the means to clean that way. I realize if you're breeding in your bedroom, you probably don't have an industrial sink in your garage. So I get it. We're all on our own journey, no problem. But my journey is now, so what I do is I clean the tubs daily, up to daily, not every tub daily, but if they soil, I clean them. I dump the soiled cocoa, the snake waste, and the newspaper into one of those plastic bags. I end up with 2 or 3 like those, like, I'm sure my neighbors think that I have an infant or something. Like, it looks like diaper bags that I'm throwing out daily. The thing is, everything I'm putting in those bags is compostable, is biodegradable. You can compost newspaper. And by the way, if you're worried about the ink in newspaper, most newspaper inks now are soy-based. And they're totally fine. As long as you stay away from glossy print, talk about economically sustainable. I get the kind of the local community entertainment newspaper. I get that at the end when the guy's switching them out and he's like, yeah, you want them? I don't have to take them back now to the place. I'm like, yeah, I'll take them. So I get those. I stay in full stash on those. That's no problem on those. And the newspaper is fully compostable. So one of my goals for myself is to get a compost tumbler that I can put in my backyard. I can get rid of using the plastic bags that I use every day. And see, here's the other thing I can't figure out. If the plastic bags full of biodegradable material go to the landfill, they probably can't even break down because none of the bacteria and the good stuff that breaks them down can get through the plastic. So now my biodegradable waste is turned into just junk. Anyhow, that's one of my goals. It won't make me better at the grocery store about the plastic bags in and of itself. But if I take one step, maybe I could take the other. The bags do say if you bring them back to the store, they will recycle them properly. So, the composting is kind of cool too. I'm sure you're going, that's great, Adam. What are you going to do with a broken down pile of snake manure soil. A little secret about myself, I love fruit trees, and specifically I love fig trees. I want to plant figs along my back fence, and I want to fertilize them with the very best compost, the finest compost from the most high-end ball python poo and cocoa and newspaper compost that one man could possibly make. And then I will enjoy some delicious figs when they come in season every year. That'd be fantastic, right? The other thing that caught my attention was these little hatchling solo cups, right? So these little souffle cups, I can't find microwave safe souffle cups. And if you're wondering, Adam, what in the world are you microwaving your souffle cups for? In my mind, I can't say that there's any fact in this, it's just in my mind. If a souffle cup can handle a microwave, then it can handle my dishwasher. And if it can handle the dishwasher, then I can reuse it. I don't think that these things can. So what I usually use is these in a little PVC enclosure for hatchlings. I thought it was a great idea. I saw Justin talk about it on this old video. Last year I went and got a bunch of the PVC fittings. These things fit in it. The snake can't turn it upside down. It gets soiled. You need to replace it. Poof, trash, right? You can recycle these. Recycling is good aside from all my cynicism of it. But if I wasn't wasting or throwing it out at all, it'd be even better. I am torn. I could buy these, and this year I'm projecting to have 60 to 90 hatchlings, and these cost a fair amount for a sleeve of these things. Now, I'm not exactly sure, and I'd have to do the math of how much I'm gonna go through. But the other thing is, I like these really nice ceramic cups. This one's a medium, this one's bigger than I would use. This is probably 4 inches. I could get the small ones of these through PSU wholesale. I could get them down to $1.25 a dish. So for $100, I could be off souffle cups and have no waste and no flipping over water dish because I could use ceramic small dishes. The problem is, from the wholesale company, I gotta spend at least $300. That means I would have to buy 250 of those ceramic bowls. That's a little steep. How sustainable do I want to be? Do I want to be $250 sustainable when I only need like $90 of it, right? But here's what I'm thinking. If somebody local, like some of y'all know me locally, but a bunch of y'all are gonna be at Daytona, if you want to split a shipment of those, if you want to take 125 of them, and I'll keep 125, and we'll split the cost. They're $1.25 a piece, and I guess we're gonna have a little shipping, so maybe they'll be $1.50 a piece. If you want to split them, I can meet you at Daytona when I go to the show, or I'll meet you locally and I'll just order them up. I don't mind fronting it up front and then just settle up with me kind of thing. Those are kind of the two first immediate goals I want to work on. Speaking of cups, and speaking of perfect being the enemy of good, I actually like these 8 ounce, these are 12 ounce, excuse me. They're microwave safe. This one has been through my dishwasher many, many times, and it's great. It's still holding up just fine. I'm going to be able to continue to use these. I don't really know what the shelf life on these is. So these are kind of reusable, kind of sustainable. I don't think they'll last me forever, but I'm not throwing them out after each use of a souffle cup like this. And like the souffle cup, these do have the recycle code. This is a recycle 6 and this is a recycle 5 code. I've put a lot of thought into using these. I like using them, and I have not found a ceramic substitute that will fit in the molded cup tubs that I use. And while we're on the topic of sustainability, man, I would be remiss if I didn't give a huge shout out and a strong mention to my good buddy Phil Snyder at Finger Snakes BP. He's up in Pennsylvania. You got to check out his Instagram. He has built a completely solar-powered rat breeding facility and operation. Totally solar-powered, totally stores the excess in batteries. So he's even got a backup. I was going to say you don't need an electrical backup if the power goes out because you got the sun. It's really amazing, and I don't know all the details of it. And I don't understand all the science that goes into it. Phil is great. He's an accomplished breeder. He's been a huge supporter of this channel. Matter of fact, I think he was the first sponsor I ever had. So I'm really grateful for Phil. What he's doing really just made me, again, it really kind of inspired me to think, what can we do better? And again, don't let perfect be the enemy of the good. Like, what was Phil gonna say? Well, I can't run my whole operation on solar, so I'm not even gonna start. No, we just start. We go on the journey, we get better, we get going, we work at continuous improvement. Huge shout out to Phil, hugely inspirational what you're doing. So those are my thoughts. What have I missed? What more opportunities? There's gotta be more. Water usage, how could I get that down? I'm hand washing every day. I use a dishwasher. Dishwashers use less water, but I'm hand washing tubs every day. I don't know, what do you have in mind? What am I missing? What am I not doing? So I wanna hear from you. How can we all get better? How can we be supportive of each other? I'd love to hear from you. In the meantime, check out these videos and I'll keep you up to date on everything that we have going on here at Proper Royals. If you've made it this far, check out the Linktree link. It has links to all of our socials, everything that Proper Royals does, including how to contact me directly. I cannot wait until I see you in the next video. And until next time, see ya.